All right, good morning. Today is Thursday. It's the fourth day, full week. Got our timer down there. It's August 22nd, 2024. We're starting about 15 minutes until market open. It's really not too much going on at the moment. We'll take a look at our economic calendar, earnings, see if there's anything really on the docket going on at the moment. But I believe it's been relatively quiet. Looking at the volume, you can see the same thing. It's really not too much to talk about. All right, we'll go ahead and turn on. We'll wait on our DOM actually. So let's start with our questions, and then I'll pull up our information. Okay. All right. So again, you can see here we don't really have too much on the docket today as far as earnings before or after the bell. And let's look at our quotes. So let's try this one here. Alfred Lord Tennyson. Knowledge comes, but wisdom lingers. We have our data, 5:30, 6:45, 7 o'clock. Primarily looking at the PMIs. We've already had our response to the jobless claims. You can see our SOC is down here, a bit balanced, went and drifted a little lower, and then we ended up breaking above the SOC high. We'll see if we can stay over there, but we'll look at details shortly. And then we have our 7 a.m. that comes out later on. Again, we're primarily looking forward to the PAL speech tomorrow at 10 a.m. 7 a.m. Pacifics, actually. This is the sector tracker from yesterday. So we can see how some of the sectors have performed. You can look at our review last night for any specific details. So we're actually going to take a look and compare that with today. See who's leading. We got Tech up 42 basis points, leading the ES. For our equities, we just have Microsoft that's just in the red for our primary ones that we're looking at. The leaders for the sectors is actually technology, followed by discretionary and utilities, consumer staples. Communications are not open yet, I believe, and very nice for the healthcare. So overall, this is a very nice breath day. But we do want to keep an eye on finance. Let me clear this out. So again, we do want to look at finance as they ended red yesterday. Same thing with healthcare. And then we just want to, of course, just keep an eye on discretionary because they've been doing pretty well with Tesla, Amazon, and now retail is having some pretty good earnings. Whether it's good earnings or not, I'm not sure, but it's definitely good reactions to the earnings. All right, and I think that's about it for now. And of course, you want to keep an eye on the video as always. They're already up 1.3. Broadcom is doing damn well today, which is nice to see. So this definitely may be a situation where um, this is pretty bullish. But I wanted to start with the sector tracker today. And not too for sure, but I don't believe there's really too much going on from the geopolitical news. So we'll start with our morning workflow. Just from my opening glance, does this look bullish or bearish? Well, this looks pretty bullish to me. We have a open at the top of the prior balance yesterday, end up dripping a little higher, down testing to the prior IB mid. exploding upwards with a new high over a session, a small pullback, another leg up, another higher low, and now we've broken the prior HOD. We're seeing the same situation from NQ. Open a little higher above their prior IB high, drift sideways, test their IB high, not their mid. Smaller leg up, more kind of a channel than an impulse, but we eventually do get that nice leg. Small pullback with our initial claims, and now we've finally broken the high from prior day. Okay, cool. So again, that's extremely bullish on our side. Though the volume may be light indeed, we can understate the bullishness and the consistency of the trend. The low volatility and grinding is hallmarks of a bull market. All right. So what was the goal? And where were we coming from and what was the goal? We were just keeping our pattern. We were just keeping our pattern of the bull flag into the rally base rallies, basing and rallies, basing and a rally, basing and a rally. No, another base. So now we have two consolidation phases. It doesn't mean that we're going to pull back and break these lows. It's a possibility that we may have our impulse today, if we're going to continue with that trend that we've been seeing this whole time. So if you zoom out, nothing about this shows bearish at all. This is straight bullish. Bullish on a higher time frame. Even looking at the weekly, this is absolutely bullish still. The little territory that the bears had in July has been short-lived. Monthly, same situation. But do notice that there is no upper body, so it's something to be interested in. But we're bullish on all time frames. So the goal was just to build volume higher, and we can clearly see we've done that. We've already looked at the price action. This should be nice. This is definitely going to be interesting day. Let's look at the 138 minutes. You can see we're eating up that zone. We had some trouble with this the past couple days, but we ended up finally rising above it. We're actually opening in that range. So again, that's another bullish mark for us. So we're definitely going to be looking to buy. I don't really have any thoughts for selling. I see no justification of it. Same situation here for the ES. Headed into these prior ranges. Able to hold this zone very well. No trading below it at all. We had our chance yesterday. Excuse me. Sellers had their chance yesterday. There was just no continuation. Again, you can look at the footprint. Just a quick snapshot at it. You can look at our homework if you want a more consolidated, a more all-encompassing review, rather. But okay, I mean, that's pretty much it. I'm gonna go ahead and turn on Jigsaw. We have 6.5 minutes. I'm gonna mark these SOC zones, which is a scene of the crime. All right, make sure we turned off price squawk. There's no reason for that to be going on right now. Yeah, we're literally opening up in the 20Ks. This is extremely bullish, so no surprise if we see an open drive just to offset risk from the short side. Yeah, definitely be careful. But we'll leave the theories for now. Let's continue with what we're doing. So very nice overall. I like seeing the higher highs and the higher lows from the bulls. So they definitely have full control just across the board, 100%. The scene of the crime. I think that's going to remove the, yeah, it's going to remove the, here. All right, so that way we have our zone there. It's from the 990s to the 937. So that's about 60 points if I math that right. And then we have same situation here. I actually just may make a quick update to this. Let's just do here and all right, we'll just save that for future reference. So we have our midline and then our prices, so we don't have to keep calculating it. So again, we have our SOCs already drawn. So that's going to be the first line of support for the most part. We have this little zone here. And again, these aren't necessarily specific levels. These are just a good little price map for me. If we do pull back, I just want to see where we're pulling back to. Quicker reference. It's probably a little better to do this on a higher time frame. So clean that up a bit. Yeah, really not too much here. And then we'll get one more. And again, this is just for our reference. That way we can see where we're at. We can see where we're at in the overnight session, and then we can see where we are in a higher time frame on these charts. Okay, and then we'll have our executions. We'll pull that up later. We don't have a need for it now. But again, we're on very low volume. We'll see where we end up as we head into the session. This is just a reminder of where we're at for the market profile. We have our last week profile here. And then this is our current week. Notice the P-shaped structure. If we get below those 17s, that's where we have a lot of those sellers. And this is also just the VPOC zone for the weekly composite. So if we get below there, I would say a bit more of advantage on the super short time frame for the for the day for the RTH advantage will go to the bears. But anything above here, anything above those 27s, really above 30, advantage to the bulls, and that's 56.30. And same situation, as long as we stay in this zone here for the NQ, we would have to give the advantage to the bulls. Getting below getting into this valley zone. Yeah, those 780s. That's where we'll have some trouble here. So again, NQ has a little better positioning on the intermediate time frame than the ES does. So yeah, we'll just need more information. We can see we're starting at the top of this SOC range, but we want to see how RTH begins to form. Let's see if this is as aggressive off the open and if it's sustained through the PMIs at 645 and the home sales at 7. So I'm gonna go ahead and throw on price spot. We'll see what they're talking about.
Block sell. Block buy.
Okay, we're seeing
Block
some nice
buy.
activity out the open. Nothing too crazy for the volume.
Block buy.
Passive sellers are definitely there on the NQ. And this is that aggression that I was talking about. Yeah, we're just at a very pivotal point right now. This is bears are definitely want to get off any short risk that they have. And you can see where we're at as far as this SLC zone. And again, our higher time frame on these two charts up here. So really not too much to talk about right now. We really just need to see how everyone starts since the open and play a key factor with the ones that we were looking at. And then Tesla, I left out Tesla. So again, we're mainly looking at the XLY, the discretionary, healthcare, and finance. Of course, everyone else matters, but we really want to look at these players here. See if this value is going to be sustained. If we do have some sort of downside pressure, we understand where our levels are below us. We have 1, 2, and 3, and then that 3 is where we break that overnight low. There's a possibility this is a open rejection reverse if this is going to be sustained, but we're potentially finding support at this SOC range here. See if that's going to be continued. We did bust through that high volume node, so now we're on the other side. Curious what that looks like. Yeah, pushing above. It'll be a little zone here. The beginning of this cave of the other side of that high volume node starts at 72s. So we'll see if we'll get another push above. Once we start hitting in those areas, I'm curious if we'll have enough energy to want to stay there. We'll see how high the buyers are willing to accept the prices. You can see this wick here. I'm curious what this looks like on a 1 minute. Okay. Just like seeing what others are. ES is doing pretty nice so far. Well, I'm say they're trading above their halfway point. I may not say nice. Yeah, I'm just balancing here. The VPOC is at the lows, but that's about to change. It's about to be the 2004. Yeah, it's actually a tie at the VPOC. As soon as we get another, if we get another rotation down, this will be the VPOC. There we go. So the VPOC is shifting higher. If we get lower, we have some nice volume at the lows for the NQ. See their value area. It's like a B shape opposed to a P shape for the S&P 500. It's the 5 minute mark here. You should see a different flurry. Nothing really worth noting for the passive. We have the bids and our offers here. Okay. So we're making our new low. And again, we want to see how buyers are responding, a little less about sellers. Just make sure that we're staying focused. Okay. And I'm not listening to price squawk now. I can only imagine. Alright. Just starting to test some of this bottom of this range for ES. We'll see how they respond. So who's holding us up right now? Finance, this is really good. Industrials, utilities, finance, and industrials. This is nice. Looks like we're maybe, yeah, we'll just need a little more information and they're holding steady. These top four are doing well. This is definitely good. If, excuse me, this is not good. But if ES can catch a bid, I mean, if NQ can catch a bid, that'll definitely help out ES as a whole. Again, do remember that NQ only touched their prior IB high opposed to ES with their mid. So if we can have the one who had a little better of a retest help the one who has a stronger
Block
upthrust
buy.
from the lows of the overnight, I think that'd be a pretty good duo to the long side. But that's definitely going to take a little time. We just need a little more information. Get these two working in tandem. They hit this range up here for ES. It's a high volume node. Looks like from some sort of a Fibonacci. I put that. I put the percentage, but not the reference. I would assume like an all-time high or something. Yeah, I have to see. Oh, I don't need to do that. I can just look at the
Block buy.
here. Yeah, and it's just a high volume node too. It's just potential resistance. Yeah, I see it in here. Man, we've come pretty far. It's always cool to go back and see the history. I'll be right
Block buy.
Okay, I had stepped away, came back, we're hitting new lows. Again, we need to see where are these lows coming from? Tesla, Broadcom, Google, just everybody, yeah, everyone but Microsoft. Ooh, that was a nice little thrust up. We want to see if that's going to hold. 5 seconds to the end of this minute candle. 5 minute candle rather. Yeah, that was a nice little goal line. That was the close of the SOC. Yeah, that was a test. And again, there's PMI data here. So I'm just sitting patiently. But yeah, I would imagine this may see a little bit of a leg up. You will want to see the quality of the rotation when we go down and see how the bids and the ask are performing. Ideally, you would think NQ would be a nicer short because it's a nicer long because it was a little cheaper. But again, I'm learning not to trade that way. You would want to gear that towards the ES because I mean the majority of their volume is at the upper half. There's no volume done at the lows relative to the upper half. And again, this is a situation with having just low volume as a whole. It's kind of hard to get an idea of what's going on, but you can. I don't know. You just have to adjust your eyes. It's like just hitting some fastballs versus hitting a lob
Stop
from
sign.
a softball. You have to adjust your eyes. Another 10 seconds, and we'll have our end of this 3 minute bar. Volume still taking, been happening at the highs. So as of right now, this would be a open. This is quite bullish overall on both sides, but this would be a open rejection reverse potentially for NQ. And as of right now, just an open auction for ES. Yeah, and again, we're still at the top of this building volume above this initial jobless claims high for the 3 minute. So again, that goes down to the 37s. Okay. We'll see. We'll do a snapshot right before the PMI data. I'm breaking these lows. Maybe. Yeah, ES is really sturdy. Interesting to see. The sell imbalances. All right, we'll go ahead and take our snapshot. That way we get a idea of how these Assets are responding. See if this is anything worth keeping an eye on. All right, we got about 15 seconds. Inbound data.
Block by.
We left a big gap, filled it in. Okay. New highs on ES. Mainly a stop run. We're having NQ struggling at this VPOC area. I feel like we need a little more time, but a potential short here. Call it 90s, especially with NQ, with ES taking a little break. Yeah. There we go. Now we're looking. Now we're headed down together. Now we're gonna see if ES is gonna have some support here. We're only a minute and a half after that PMI data. Yeah, I don't have my service on. Couldn't tell you if this is considered bad or not. Alright, I'll be right back. Okay, alright, I'm back. Doesn't look like we missed too much here. We're still struggling. This is going to be that 3-minute counter there.
Block by.
I think we're going to need a little more information. As of right now, this is still open rejection reverse for NQ. Not enough information for ES. We're just trading lower right now, having some same excursion. But we're doing more volume here at these lows than we did at the highs. Yes, that's accurate.
Block sell.
Yeah, maybe a potential to have the sellers possibly squeezed if we find support above the 20K mark again. But again, we're still flirting with this SOC zone. We're just trading at the top. So I mean, until we get under this section, we still have some support below us. All right, we'll go ahead and throw our study zones. That way we can see where we are structurally for this RTH. Now that we have a little more data. So ES open is their midpoint as well.
Block cell. Block buy. Block cell.
All right, getting more legs down. Let's check the. I'm sorry. So we're just down 16 and 14 basis points. Again, this looks a little worse than it actually is, given the low range and the low volume. Don't be fooled by the DOM. But we are down almost like 100 points from the highs for NQ. Leading down is industrials, finance, consumer discretionary. Tesla's actually holding up decently well. Hold on.
Block cell.
Taking a look. We're getting towards the end of this range for this SOC. So we traded a little above and then rejecting these prices higher. So we want to see if we're going to kind of cradle under this zone. If the buyers will, and we'll see what that looks like. Possibly look for an initiation candle. Don't want to be too early. Make sure we have the right amount of information. You see a response from the buyers. No real pullback. Ending this bar in 1 second. Right? No? No, I just got my math wrong. Well, that was a 1 minute bar. I forgot what we are for the 3 minute. Nice little upper thrust and a hold. We want to see what a pullback looks like, at least for here. We're seeing a bullish bar turn bearish. NQ is holding a little stronger here. Ah, dang, I missed. Yeah, they're not getting out the ground though. We're not seeing that much traded on these lower rotations. I'm not seeing really any sellers or anything, but no real reason for the sellers to be scared. 30 seconds. Yeah, I think I don't know. Okay, there we go. Yeah. Okay, we'll see what this pullback looks like, if there is one. And again, do remember we have existing home sales coming out shortly. If this is indeed a open rejection reverse from the For the NQ, you would need to see a hold of this open, and really just this range for the ES, which is the 60s, which is basically, so they basically need to, yeah, not get above not get to 62 for the sellers. If this is going to be a potentially uh, a stronger sell side hand. Yeah, if the sellers are going to have their stronger hand for this RTH. Again, everything is still fairly bullish. Yeah, relatively bullish. I mean, yeah, they're holding. Yeah, yeah, man, I'm just looking at this go by. Though we're not looking to the short side. I will admit I did have a position in yesterday, and I did one short a little earlier today off of that initial jobless claims. That's that open retest, and so maybe just in my mind, just a little bit, some higher delta up here near the highs as well. And again, just look, this is all within and around this SOC. We want to see if they close. We have data in 4 minutes. Passive sellers up here at the 20K. See if we have a break above the 2011s, which will get us up here in this area here. This low volume node, possibly a trade to the short side. If sellers are going to reload, will be up here near the highs. But with the upcoming data, you really just want to see what's going on here because, I mean, at this point, this is an open auction for NQ, no longer a open rejection reverse. And yeah, really just another open auction here for the ES with a bullish tilt. So I mean, we're coiling at the SOC high and above. So I mean, that's simple, accepting high prices higher. Now, if we break below this range and use it as resistance, or have another leg above and possibly B bracket and pull back to this range, this would make sense. This is actually very similar to yesterday. Now that I look at it for the ES, where they formed this line, I have to look at the video, but it was something similar like that, which ended up being information. Ended up being information later in the session. See if we get a pullback to these 56s. This would be the SLC high and the close. I mean, the open and the close of the impulse candle down here. For the NQ, that'd be the 81s. They're about 3 points away, about 2 points. And again, we have data coming in at a minute and a half, so that can kind of throw a wrench into things, shake things up. Looks like those 56s may not come, so they're holding above even with that. Got 10 seconds. Let's see where everyone is after all that data. Can we please don't have a rotation down again? I was just checking. So yeah, they recovered. Nice. People who didn't recover, the people that's not tick. So we may see ES lead us down. Here are those 56s, 55s now. Completely break through. Now we're into that initial impulse candle. And again, we have 40 seconds for existing home sales data. So I wouldn't be surprised if we break a new low. And I'd be interested in possibly having a tighter stop with a long. But we want to see how we respond here. Make sure we're good, we're not locked out. If we had to pick between these two, really depends on what happens here. But as of right now, it's a little more bullish in the shorter term for the NQ. But ES may have a bit of a smoother trade, but I don't like how some of those defensive sectors were holding. But let's get more information before we speculate. We got 4 seconds, 3 seconds. Really nothing too much here. Building volume. I, I would think, yeah, I think we just need a little more time. We'll let this digest. That's the test a little lower. About 30 seconds in, we have some buyers trying right there. Not really getting much effort. I mean, not getting much reward. I have my finger on the buy button. Something just feels weird about that. Yeah. 10 seconds. And 5 seconds. And release. Strange. Okay, we're at those 55s, at the 60s for NQ, at the 52s, 53s. We're not breaking the lows. We're at the open for NQ, at the open for the impulse candle. We have a little push up, trying to sustain. It's a lighter volume. Rotation down. 30 seconds. 30 seconds left. We hit the VWAP. We hit VWAP for NQ. I mean for the ES. For the full session. I'm going long here. I'm gonna have it really tight. It's at the low of this candle here. It's at the 55s. So it's like a 11 point stop. Or 9? One of those. I can't count right now. Alright, I got stopped out. That's fine. Now ES is still in the middle of their range. And Q is at the lows. "25 seconds. I don't think I'm gonna get filled. I put a bid in. I'm trying to be patient. It's at 54. Yeah. Fuck. Alright. I waited. It's a different situation now. NQ's trying to hold. I'm trying to straighten out this down. There we go. We're still within this range. At the 54s again. Man, I'm just gonna do market this next time. Fuck it. I just did the market. I have to stop at these 50, right at this VWAP, 52 quarter. We'll see how this goes. Target at least getting above these 62s. So that'd be at least a 2 to 1. And again, that'll just getting us over where these sellers are kind of piling up at. I may hit out of this. We'll see. We have NQ trying to lead us out a little bit. Still got 20 seconds left of this minute candle. We may see a little down rotation. And again, yeah, I got out. Some passive sellers showing up there a little bit. Alright, I just said fuck it, I put the stop at the low for NQ. So this ends up being about 13 points. Below it, this lows I'm in at the 65 quarter. This ES is just looking like they're trying to. But yeah, it's probably gonna end up getting stopped out, especially after that. It's 52s. Okay. All right, yeah,
Block sell.
seller's definitely pushing. Yeah, it's a good thing we got out of that. Good job. New low for both. So still possible. And just open auction for both. Yeah. Yeah, still be considered an open auction. About 4 seconds. New lows. Definitely a lot of sell activity here for the ES. Very negative delta.
Block sell.
Alright, it's breaking out of that range for. Yeah, it's not really seeing any continuation.
Block sell.
Block sell. And liquidation. Where we are regarding our zones. Starting to hitting some of those areas. Broke through that one.
Block buy.
Yeah, passers are stepping in on both sides.
Block
30
buy.
seconds. Well, we'll see if there's a pullback. Yeah, that's not holding. That's coming back down. No. Start of a new minute. Say, damn, that'd be a nice save. Yeah, they're teetering towards that edge. Ten seconds. Passive buyers. Got out the way for the NQ. Next level for ES.
Block
There
sell.
should be a low there. Should be a little liquidation break. And then the next area. Very
Block
high
buy.
seller delta on NQ. See if that actually continues or if there's just some closing of shorts. About another 20 seconds. So again, this is why we have our overnight zone so we can see where we're at. They're getting a little closer to that overnight low. Another 3 seconds. Nice. But does it hold? Alright, and it seems like we're just getting quiet now.
Block sell.
So I would assume, yeah, this would be a
Block
open
buy.
rejection reverse for the NQ. If in the end this 15-minute candle in 40 seconds, we'll have a little better idea of what people are trying to do. You can see buyers are trying to get out of this area. There are definitely some passive sellers that are here. May have another rotation down to see who else is here. On the bids, we're getting awfully close to the overnight low. We got another 20 seconds here. Small little pullback. We'll see how far this goes down. Do they start working together? No. They got to get over those 44s. The buyers, that is. Sellers will feel a lot more comfortable if they stay below that 44s. Small little gaps. Not filling those back up. We may have some more downside. They're not having that recovery that they'll like to see.
Block sell.
And low for NQ, and no low for ES. We'll see how long that lasts. Ten seconds for this minute. They trying. Ugh. Yeah, that's not good. They're turning their wheels. Hopefully, if you're watching this done, you can notice that too. That was a quick little switch. Trying to see if they can catch them off guard. Them being the sellers. I'm not sure what to think about this bracket. Bear flagging for sure. In an overnight zone between two different ones. It's that rotation down. We're still below those 44s. Okay, nice start to this minute candle. It's two-rate trading still. ES is a little weaker than they were a while ago. We want to see if NQ is going to try to take over or if they're going to make a push together. They've been trying to push it. They've been trying to time it, but they're just not getting it going. Passive
Block
sellers
buy.
got filled on the sell side. All right, go through our same process here. Yeah, just pretty weak for tech mainly. Hold on, we'll look at this in a second. Yeah, they're not getting past these 44s. And I don't really see any value yet in trying to front run this. All right, they had like a tick low for NQ and they're trying to push. 10 seconds left. See if we finish bearish or bullish. Excuse me. It's a red body bar or green body. Okay, it's a nice little finish. Good pressure for the sell side on the bears. We're looking at a good maybe -2, maybe -2, -1.5 for ES. Potentially making a push together. We'll see what the quality of the pullback looks like. 25 seconds left. A lot of seller delta on both sides. Dang, I put a bid in, didn't get filled. I want to see if these O2s get filled. Okay.
Block sell.
Yeah, some activity offsetting right here. Pushed up and then we stopped. ES is still trading a little lower. About 10 seconds left for this candle. Still not past these 44s. Yeah, man, as of right now, we're basing below this SOC candle here. So this is definitely not advantageous to the Bulls case.
Block buy.
Yeah, they'll be a little more bullish above these 44s. but it feels like a big if. We got above them, not really too much action traded above. That was that 5 minute candle there. Right. We'll believe it when we see it. I don't think we took our snapshot. I may have actually, but just to be safe. Let's do 725. All right, I'll be there in a minute. All right, they leave that. So I mean, we got above the 44s. The longer they stay above those 44s, those are kind of pivotal for sure. Then we have for sure these sellers that are here from these 50s, passive seller there as well. And it's nice that they're doing this together. All right, we'll see if this is actually sustained. Impulse through. We're still right below the SOC for NQ and starting to dig back into that zone for an ES rather. We tested 2 of the 3 overnight zones, and pretty much that last section is the overnight low. And back under those 44s.
Block buy.
Volume picking up at these here lows. Ooh, the passive buyer getting partially filled. There you go, he's filled now. If you had like a little iceberg, some more below him is getting filled too. NQ slipping. They're trying to fight their way back up. We'll see how long this lasts. Yeah, really not too much here. That is the 30-minute mark.
Block cell.
The more negative delta was mainly that 7 o'clock bar. Still some selling attempts
Block cell.
afterwards. Not even some
Block
selling
cell.
attempts. I mean, they're selling.
Block cell.
All right, and we got our new low eating at these. Yeah, they're about 20 points for him there. Overnight low. And about 4 points for ES.
Block buy.
And
Block cell.
All right, that may be the initiation candle, possibly, but it's gonna be hard to engulf this one right next to it. But even just a high touch and a nice close near its high will be a pretty good response for the buy size for the bids. There was definitely some sellers that were trying to force it down. They couldn't push it down any lower. The actual delta itself, overall for this 15 minutes, is still negative. You can see just all the sellers here at the bottom, and of course that makes sense. I mean, but they've been pushing this whole time here, and we're just back near these 44s, which we still haven't gotten over. Once they can use this 44 as support, they'll be much more in a favorable position. Yeah. Yeah, they run up here, then they kind of slow down. I'm just looking at these charts here, just kind of taking some notes. I'm putting myself on mute.
block by, block cell, Blocks L.
So really not much happened again, just more rotation down. Really still we still can't get above those 44s. But notice we did get the tick low for the ES. So this is typically like a buy signal that I would have. I've hit my DLL today using bigger size, so I'll definitely be sitting this one out. But this will be possibly a pullback here, and then definitely a buy on this 38s. If anything, you need to mark it in. So you may have got in at the 38 half, 38 quarter. This would be a stop below the low, so that'd be 4 points, and you'd be targeting at least this mid sec. This really be a 2 to 1 from this section. So the main first structure you really need to get past is these damn 44s. So I mean, you're looking at a 4 point risk right there, and if you to get to the 44s, that'd be about 6 points. So if you can get over there, and then use that as support, you definitely want to look at these 48s, which would be the IB low, to see if you can get back into that range. If you're looking at the IB for the whole hour, I mean, you're still you're still sticking to this IB low for that. And NQ has broken their overnight low. So we'll go ahead and clean up these zones here. We have no need for these. Same situation. We can just use our structure because we have our new references. Yeah, and if this does get stopped out, if that were to get stopped out, then definitely so be it. I'm putting a lot of notes in here. Definitely not the best day. Once I finish here, I'll do my wrap up. I've done my cons first. I'm gonna go through my pros to make sure I'm not too negative heavy.
block by, block by, block cell. Block cell. Block by.
All right, we'll do a quick debrief. So today we ended up taking, I think it ended up being like 13 trades, dude. I'm pretty sure that was counting some of my trades from yesterday as well. Actually, let me double count this. This is one, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight, really nine because I did one at the near the 5:30 data as well. Looks like we're gonna make a new low. Long story
Block
short, while
sell.
this is going, hold on, we'll let this run. Trading below this overnight low. We're about to hit a new low for NQ, but not just yet. Possibly another tick low. 190 contracts at the low for ES. All right, we'll let this go. We'll see what happens. But essentially, my cons were, I recognize that it's a possible open rejection reverse when we were looking at the A bracket here. As we ended up coming back up with these two impulses, we said, hey, this is possibly open auction. We really want to see them kind of, protect that open, which is exactly what they did from 76. Man, that was a fair amount of damage there. Then we had our SOC candle, and we had this little compression here, and this is from the 950s to the 978s. So, as we're going through here, we're primarily looking for just a way to buy and just really aggressive and forcing our way um, into that situation, which just really didn't make sense. So again, we recognize that this was a possible open rejection reverse. We understood that the shorts had the stronger hand for the RTH from what we could see, but the bulls, the bids are definitely still in control over all other time frames. So if that's the case, I didn't really respond to that bit of new information that what we're seeing on the shortest of time frames is counter to what we're seeing on all other time frames. So how to process that information, that's something that I'll need to work through. I'll put my thoughts on that. I'm actually make a note about
Block
that now.
buy.
So yeah, we may just need to just wait for more information, and more information may be a actual initiation candle, and we're actually seeing support above like a known trouble area that the buyers are dealing with. Or maybe like this tick low, like we just saw, that would have been a fair amount of um, a fair amount of excursion for your trade. Again, that may have been more on the shorter side. You may have not gotten much return from the tick low trade, which makes me it may be another one that's setting up here for the ES. But I digress. If we're in a situation where the shortest time frames is not in confluence with the stronger macro and intermediate trend, then you just don't trade that day. I don't think you force it. I think it's okay just to say no. Um, so again, that was the main thing. Just understanding that we noticed the situation that we were looking at, but we just didn't do anything about it. And then I definitely wanted to trade today after the situation where I had the swing that went in our favor about 30 points with no kind of heat. We ended up taking a one tick profit, and that was a little bit annoying. I will say that was a little bit annoying. The exit management hasn't been too strong on our side ever. It's not something we really focus too much on, but that's definitely next on our list. So running the trade, that was more of an emotional issue, and SC was kind of playing it yesterday, and that's something, possibly taking a break. Hey, you may be a little irritated with that. This is I know these things. Just the market is definitely going to help remind you. We did all of our commentation on the short side and why it made sense, but again, we allowed the recency bias of the recent actions where we've tried to short on these days and just didn't really take the proper setups or didn't stick with the trade, or were upset that we just couldn't hold it. And just some of the recent action just kind of plaguing where we are now. And we understand that anything can happen. That's something we really need to believe in on both sides at all times. When you feel like it, when you don't feel like it, when the trade is in your favor or when it's not in your favor. Just something we need to be mindful of. So this is definitely a good reminder. And risk management as a whole. So not having a fully fleshed out plan for our exits, they're causing unnecessary issues for our great trades, and that can for sure affect your confidence and your morale overall. So whether it being fully fleshed out exits, full understanding of when to enter, we really just need binary options. So it's a little less for us to do. The less we have to think about, the less um, this decision fatigue that we may have. And then for our pros, again, just a lot of updates with Sierra chart. Uh, I've learned some few personal things I need to work on, so I'll spare you. But definitely good prep work overall. I'm glad that we still stuck with it. We understood where we were on the shorter time frame. We definitely noticed all this. We just didn't respond to it. With more practice, doing this every day, we'll definitely improve here. Even with the disappointing performance, I'm glad we stuck it out. We got our work done. We're finishing this early. We still got our review. There's no hiding here. We take our lumps and keep going. I definitely spent a fair amount of money on the commissions today. Oof. Um, yeah, we did more like Rambo today than like a sniper. So yeah, I'll go ahead and leave it at that. I'm gonna jump on mute for the remainder of the session, and I'm out. Have a good one.
Block cell. Block cell. block cell, block cell, Block cell. Block cell. Block cell. Block cell. Block cell. Block by. Block cell. Block cell. Block cell. Block cell. Block cell. Block cell. Block by. Block cell. Block cell. Block cell. block cell, block cell, block cell, block cell, block cell, block cell, block by, block cell, block cell, block by, block by, block cell, block cell, Block by.
We kind of got out. Good evening.
Block cell. Block by. Block cell.